Okay, so I learned a ton of games in April. I think I learned 58 games, which is crazy. I got to go to the Gathering of Friends, which happens every April, and all of the new games that are gonna come out at like Essen or Gen Con, they all just are in prototype form, so we get to test them out and maybe give feedback. And there's games that just came out that we get to play, like all the new stuff, and I'm highly addicted. Um, so I was just going to talk a little bit about that. So my number one game of April was Key Flow. Now, it's a separated word, Key Flow, which I didn't know until it got a BGG entry yesterday. And in this game, you are, well, if you know Keyflower, it's very similar. So all of the little symbols will line up to your knowledge of Key Flow. They have the resources like the hammers and the 3 different types and the cylinders that match the types, and you're still trying to upgrade everything to get more points, to get better benefits from your buildings. There's stuff like that, but the whole, instead of bidding mechanic, you are actually playing cards. You're drafting cards into your tableau as meeples and activating these locations. So that's like really cool. I love drafting games. Seven Wonders is in my top 5 favorite games. So, I mean, I love drafting games. Gingopolis, drafting also. Love it. So there's 4 seasons in Keyflow, and you are drafting these cards. In the final season, you'll have some endgame cards that you can draft as well, and you know some of them that you can possibly take. So you're going to be doing that. So you can kind of plan, like, okay, I know I have this one card that I can keep, so I'm going to plan for that all game and try and score really big. So that's really cool. So if you like the Key games, this is definitely one. Like, Keeper is my favorite in the Key series. And I also got to try out a expansion for Keeper that's coming in 2019, next year in Essen. So we'll see what happens with that. I got to play with Richard Breeze, and he is just wonderful. He is a delight. I wish and hope everybody gets the chance to meet him if you enjoy his games. The Key series is so good. So he called me a superstar because, not everybody would just go into Keeper expansion. It really does add a whole lot. So if you're into Keeper and you've played several times, then I think you could pick up the expansion quite easily. But I wouldn't ever start somebody playing Keeper with the expansion, because it's just, there's like different modules that are happening. So yeah, it would be a lot for a new person to just jump in for all of that. The game itself is pretty heavy. I mean, if you're familiar again with the Key games, a lot of it will be very familiar, even though it's different, which is what's awesome about the Key series, because you feel like you already know the game and you're like, oh, but this is totally different, because like the boards change, and so what the new expansion is going to add are like sea creatures, so you can collect crabs and mussels and different things, that you could explore the waters, and there's a lot of cool things. But what really changes the game is a new season mechanic. Like, somebody might still be in summer where somebody else might have moved into fall already. So this took me I was like, I don't know what's going on. Crabs, yes, crabs. Hey, thanks for joining. So yeah, I was just talking about Keeper, and there's a lot of new things coming out for this expansion. If you like the game already, I think this will probably be a must-have for you. It does make the game much more. It's just like I say for Arl. I'm probably the number one Arl fan there is, and the expansion just makes the game go what, like crazy. And I would not recommend anybody playing Arl. Hey, Marshall. I wouldn't recommend anybody playing Arl with the expansion for the first time. I would totally recommend playing Arl, the base game, 20 times minimum. Minimum. before even thinking about adding in some of the expansion stuff. And I get that people want to play it 3-player, and that's fine, but I'm even skeptical about that. I want to try it, but I want to try it with 3 people who know what they're doing. So me, Ron, and the other all fanatic that I know, maybe Mina or something. Like we could handle it because we've played the game hundreds of times. But yeah, the expansion just adds so much. And if you are a fan like I am of Arl, then I would definitely consider the expansion. But after several plays of the base game. Yeah, that was great. Another great one that I got to learn was Coimbra. Nobody really knows how to say it. I think it's Coimbra. 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 It's a new one coming from Eggertsfield, and well, it's a Euro. So if you like dice mechanic worker placement type things, then I think it is dice drafting. So it's dice drafting. So you roll a whole bunch of dice. There's 4 different colors. And then one at a time, you take one and then place it in one of the 4 available selections. And you don't activate anything yet, but because you're putting the die in a base that's your own color. So you know what color, what dice you are. So if I take the 6, I go put it over here in slot number 3. And then the next person goes and puts a 5, it goes behind my 6. However, if I had put a 4 and they put a 5, the 5 would go first. So some of them go from low to high numbers, and some of them go from high to low numbers. So it's initiative for what you're drafting with those dice. And the die that you use, you're actually spending money or some sort of income resource that you're collecting, either shields or money that you've collected already, based on the pip value. So if you manage to draft the card for 1, that's cheap. That's good. You're doing well. But again, you might get the pity prize if there's 4 other people in front of you and you're the 5th person. There is no 5th thing, so you get the pity prize of $2 or something. So it works out like that. But what's really cool is that there's a multi-use for the dice. So when I draft this die, it's really a die that I'm using to bid for a card out here. But then also in the next phase, I get to get income based on the color of the die. So if I'm really working up that gray track, I might want to draft a gray die. Oh, but it doesn't have the value I want. Oh! But I get 3 dice. So I get to draft 3 dice. And I think... So you'll get income of 3 different tracks. Or if you draft all 3 gray dice, then you'll get income of gray track 3 times. But then you won't get income of the yellow track, and maybe you wanted some money for next round, but maybe you really wanted those shields. So the dice are multi-use, which are really cool, and it makes you thinking, all right, by purple dice, then I can move around the map. So on the board, there's a map that you're walking around collecting one-time bonuses. Best player count for this game, I would say 4. I mean, I've only played it 4, but then it's really tight on the board, and you're drafting a lot of things. So, again, I've only played it 4, but I really liked it at 4. Does it play 2-player? Probably. I would try it with 2. It's probably going to happen. I'll probably own this game. So the theme is not there. I mean, it's Portugal, I guess. But if you're a theme guy or, theme gamer girl, it's just not. It's probably more geared towards, Euro players right here. So I've played it twice so far and I've enjoyed both times. It's really easy. I could easily teach it the second play and not get anything wrong. I mean, it was just, so what's there is you're thinking about, what am I drafting? Why am I drafting this orange die? I'm not getting any income really. Oh, it's good. It's good for the Euro gamers. There was a game I tried that wasn't as good called Race to Newfoundland. That just came out. That had a weird boat action selection. So you have your boat collection and you're allocating it to different actions, and then you'll activate the actions. There's kind of like resources, contracts, build up the map. But what's interesting is that there's a ribbon on the board, and so you're trying to like hit these spots on the ribbon to get a cool bonus. And if you do it first, you get first pick at that pile, and you get a cool like end game or end of round card that you can fulfill for extra points. But it's weird because like I hit that and then it goes back 3 spaces. So the next guy can be like, oh, I'm 3 spaces away. I get to take that right now. And I'm like, I just triggered that. You shouldn't get my bonus too. It's but it was cute. I mean, I would try it again. It felt long. That's all. And you know, when it feels long, it's not necessarily a good thing for me. I like games even if they're long, like Colonists. I love that game. And it doesn't feel long. It feels like we've been 2 hours. Oh, wait, it's been 4 hours? We're done? That's crazy. So, like, I enjoy long games. It's just, it has to keep me engaged constantly. Another game. Oh, so the major hit of the gathering was easily The Mind. I saw it played on every table, turn around, it was being played. It was just all over the place. And I love this game. Like, I love this game. I have a cool Rainbow Badger deck, which everybody's been talking about and wants to know where I got the Rainbow Badger deck. I've probably given the link out, like, I don't know, 10 times in the past 3 days. Because rainbow cards are the best. But, so The Mind, if you don't know it, I mean, Eric Barnes just posted a huge, long, like, review of it, and he is, like, the king of The Mind. But, you're kind of playing these cards, and you don't really know what's happening, and you're just trying to play them in order, and you make all these crazy faces, you're like, but you can't, like, say anything, so you're just trying to get your numbers in order, and you don't really know, you just have to read each other's minds. I for whatever reason, it's just so fun. Another one that was a pretty big hit was Menara, and this is like a dexterity game, like Villa Paletti, an older title, but still, you know, a classic for those who are looking for some old but good titles. It's dexterity, so if you like dexterity, like I love dexterity. My favorite is Riff Raff, of course. The boat going like this. But anyway, it's a co-op dexterity, Menara. You are trying to plan and build up this tower together and not knock it down, but you're also trying to get through one of 3 end conditions, meeting a specific height condition as well. And so you're just, there's hard cards that are really hard or can be really hard, and you're just like, well, should I go for it? But if it's that one card, we're so screwed, it's gonna fall over. So it's a matter of balancing, and just trying to work together to place these little things. It actually really reminds me of Villa Paletti a lot, because you're trying, at one point you might have to take, you know, little pillars from underneath and move them up, which is kind of like Villa Paletti, where you're, you know, moving things around. So that's so good. I can't wait till that hopefully gets a release in the United States, because more people need to play that. It's fun. Another huge hit for me was Illusion. And Illusion is totally visual, right? So there's cards that have some combination of shapes and designs and words and who knows, whatever is on there. And there's 4 solid colors that you're looking at: red, blue, yellow, and green. But you're looking within a whole area space. And you're saying, okay, I think blue is represented about 9% in this white border of this card. And you have to line up the cards in order from lowest to highest of a specific color. And it all goes face down, and then you can try and call somebody out that's sitting next to you and be like, I think you just did that wrong. Let's check. And you check, and if there's one mistake wrong, then you get to keep the card. If it was all correct, then they get to keep the card. And whoever gets 3 actually wins. So Whoever gets 3 correct wins that game. I'm a total visual person. If you don't know me, I do photography. I love everything colors and shapes, and it just, everything about it appeals to me. Now, if we can make it into a photograph game somehow, I'll have to work on that. I think that'd be really cool. So what else did I play? I played. Oh, so yeah, the other day I'm looking at it, so I learned this one. So the Fast Forward series, Stronghold Games, and Friedman Fries, it's interesting. It's kind of like a Fabled Fruit, and you're kind of working with the same deck of cards, and well, what does he have? Maybe I can play this and fake him out, or I have his. So you're trying to do that because this is not a co-op game, but you're trying to get a value of 15, but then all these rules are coming into play as you go through the deck, and then I only played a few rounds, but it worked out. I enjoyed it. I think it would be better with more players. 2 players for me and Ron, it was just, okay, I'll try it again with more people who know what they're doing, maybe. Since I'm looking at it, more Ganja and Clever. If you're into dice rolling and rolling rates, oh my god, so fun. Now this one is not for an everyday casual roll and write fan. I think the people who will really enjoy this are the gamers that really enjoy roll and writes, because there's a lot of like little symbols that would like confuse my mom, for example. She would just be like, not into this one. Whereas she would like quicks, she likes that one, and easy stuff. But so this is the scoring, right? And all these little symbols, every time you hit a number in those boxes, you get a cool reward. So towards the end of the game, you're getting like combo, boom! Like so many combos. You're like, I don't know how I'm gonna get any points in this game. And then like round 3, you're like, boom! I'm gonna kill you all. It's so good. Got all these combos. So it's totally fun. If you're a fan of roll and rides, this is definitely one for your shelf. I love roll and rides, right? So I could sit here and play roll and rides all day. Yeah, because it's the kind of roll and write where you're taking your turn, you draft some dice, but the leftover dice the other people get to use. So you want to leave them with not so good options, basically. Use your reroll so that they get worse and worse. Little bit of hate rolling, if you will. I'm trying to remember. What else did I play? Oh, towards the end of the con, I got to play Thanos Rising, which, I'm sure everybody's seen the new movie, right? I'm not going to talk about it. It was really good. Well, it was semi-good. I wanted more screen time with my favorite people. That's all I can say. No, I'm not talking about it. I just wanted more of everybody. I want it to be like 5 hours long. That's all. That's all I'm saying. But there's a new game called Thanos Rising from USAopoly, and it was fun. It's a co-op. It probably took a little bit too long. That's okay. It was it's with her. If you're playing with people you like, it's all good. So it's a co-op. You're rolling dice. You're kind of pushing your luck. You want to defeat the villains, but you also want to recruit people to your team. And then you pass it along. It keeps going and going. All the while, Thanos is like pounding on your face and just making everybody die. So you either win when you get some number of villains killed, or he kills like 10, of the team. Which, I think we had 6 by the end. Oh, there's also with the stones, if he gets all of his stones, then he wins, that kind of thing. And it doesn't really, the game doesn't spoil the movie at all. So it came out a couple weeks before the movie, in fact, and people were playing it for a while. So I think I would definitely play it again. It felt thematic. So, I got to be Team Captain America. It was amazing, because Cap. best, right? Captain, yeah. Or Thor. I'm on the fence. It's both of them. But yeah, so that was a lot of fun. Another USAopoly game that I got to try was Deadpool versus the World. Now this is another, Cards Against Humanity, apples to apples type of game. But this was the best one. Like I've played most of those in the genre. This is by far the most fun, and I will definitely have to pick up a copy because in the game you have a stack of like pictures of Deadpool in awkward scenarios. Like you're like, what? Why is he covered in feathers? What? And so everybody has like a hand of cards like you would normally, and a wet erase marker that goes on that you can write on these like cards that you have. So it says caption this. That's like what you're doing. And it's, it gives you these things and you put in a caption or a drawing or something and then hand it in, and then who's ever evaluating will get to decide who the winner is, that kind of thing. So it's really funny. If you're a fan of Deadpool, I can't recommend it more. I mean, it's I'm not even a huge fan of Deadpool. He's just not. I'm the one person who was like, whatever. But I will see the next one. So I definitely want to get this game, though. It's a ball. It's fun. But, yeah, I'm just trying to think, what else did I play? I feel like I've played so many games recently. I can't even remember. Oh, we tried the first Exit. So not the first game, but it's like a premiere, like a promo game. And I actually had to cut up cards and it hurt. I never played Pandemic Legacy, so it was like, it hurt to like ruin a card. But I did, and it worked out. Ron and I did it, and we got 10 points. It was the best thing we could do. So that was a success. Saturday, aka tomorrow, I have a big Scythe game scheduled, which will be awesome. It's at 3 o'clock because Joe C, he comes at 7, but if we're saying it starts at 3, maybe he'll actually show up. Probably not, but we're gonna try. Colin, what did you say? I missed it. Sorry. It pops up so this new live feature on YouTube, it shows the conversation for half a second when somebody says anything, and then it goes away. Or maybe that's just the feature on the phone. I'm not sure. But, yesterday I got to play. I played 4 games yesterday. It was Bunny Kingdom, which I love. I just got that. I love it. Oh! Again, I love drafting. Oh, destroying cards. It gets easier. I just don't believe you. But maybe. I only did it once, so maybe the next time will be easier. So yesterday I played Bunny Kingdom, which was amazing fun. I learned it back, I don't know, several months ago. I think at TotalCon. TotalCon, I learned it. Oh, you have promos for Bunny Kingdom? I didn't even know that they exist. Yes, so I got the new edition, which has the big board, which I didn't really notice a big difference. But again, I wasn't comparing side by side, so I'm not sure. I'm sure it is bigger, but I definitely have the bigger board. I'd love it. I love that game. There's a lot of cool decisions. Big deal. Big board. I didn't even know there was promos for Bunny Kingdom, though, so it's like, now I want them. What could they be? Send them to me if you don't want them, right? So again, drafting. Bunno-Lean? Oh, after Napoleon. I got you. That's funny. If you don't know Bunny Kingdom, it's an area control game, but it's not really. So you're not like fighting for the areas, you're just simply placing. You can't ever get destroyed, which is nice. Like I'm not a big fan of area control because I work hard for my areas. I don't want to get them ruined. That's why Civ is so hard sometimes. But Dr. Bunnyana Jones or something similar. Oh, that sounds cute. So again, with the drafting, I love it. You take 2 cards, you draft them. There's a card for every space on the board. Then there's some end game scoring cards. So I always try and like almost do it 50-50 so I can score a whole bunch at the end, in theory, if I can manage. It's all about the balancing of doing that. And that's what's really nice. And it plays out pretty fast too. I played an old school kind of game called Quackshot. Yeah, nobody's ever heard of this. I don't know how I get dragged into stuff, but I do. And then people are like, what's that? I'm like, I don't know. So this one is called Quackshot. You are simply using like a little gun thing to shoot this roundabout of these people. You're trying to shoot the other colors, but then the farmer's getting in the way, going like this. You know, it's like a Loop and Louie type thing, right? So it's very simple, very fast. It was cute, and anybody would play it. I mean, it's, you know, silly fun, right? I played that, and then I played Linko, or Ebluxin, which was the version I played, which is the same thing, but different name. And if you don't know this, it's a wonderful card game. So yes, you should play it. It's a cool game because you're trying to like play your cards down and get rid of your cards, but you're trying to collect points. So every card you have down at the end of the game is 1 point. But every card in your hand at the end of the game is -1 point. So you're trying to like go out with a lot of cards on the table. Simple as that. Oh. Oh, Marshall got to play Drop It. I'm so jealous. It's coming to me, though. It's coming. It's going to be so good. Oh, I got to play Drop It at Gamma, and it was this huge set with, like, huge wooden blocks. And I'm like, it's going to be hard to beat that. But I'm still super excited for Drop It. That's another one I got to play recently. And, it's simple fun, right? So you're dropping these pieces. And if you're playing 2-player, you're playing 2 colors. And you can play whatever piece you want, but if it's touching a similar color or shape, it won't score you anything. Otherwise, it will score whatever region it's in. But there's another rule. So on the sides, there's a picture in like the grouping. And if like it has a triangle over here and if your triangle that you just dropped in is touching that, then you also won't score. Oh, there's so many things to think about in that very, very simple dexterity game I love just dropping pieces. It's just so fun. It's just so fun. I'll find a way to get the big one. No, I won't. Maybe when they stop using it at conventions, they'll be like, please. And beg, and maybe he'll say yes. I'll offer you lots of money. My money. Oh, so I'm so jealous, Marshall, that you got to play that. Oh, man. I think it's coming to me, though, so I'm super excited. It's gonna be great. What else did I play recently? I've been playing a lot of card games. I really like card games. So I don't know if many of you have heard of Turn the Tide. It's kind of several years old now, but it's for 5 players, and it's just every time I play it, my rating goes up a little bit more. Like, I love this game. And, you know, it's hard to find 5-player games. I'm sick of trying to find 5-player games because there aren't that many that are best with 5. And people always say, well, Hawaii goes to 5. I'm like, yeah, it does, but it's not as good with 5. Why? I mean, I don't know. It just makes the game longer or whatever. But Turn the Tide with 5 players is perfect number. It uses all the cards and it's perfect. So what happens is you have a hand of cards and you're going to be playing all these cards. You'll have some number of nests, or the version I have is Zoom Cook, so you have a nest, or in Land Under or Turn the Tide, you have a life vest, and you have some number of those. And if you're trying to bid on like the cards in the middle, you want to use the cards in your hand, but you want to like not win, but you want to either really win or not win. But if you're the second place, then you get the high card on the table, and you don't want any cards really, and you don't want high cards because then you start losing lives. But what's cool about the game is you go through this whole hand of cards and then you pass your hand. So everybody at the table is going to play every hand. That's so good. It's like, can you play this hand better than the other person? Oh, and then you get points based on the number of face-up nests that you have, or life vests, or whatever. There's very few 5-player games that I love as much as that one. I mean, Tishu, of course, is the best card game. You can't argue. Tishu! I haven't played it so long. Super Grand! I always call Grand. I'm like the crazy person who calls Grand. Just cause I just think it's fun. Why not? Like, if I see a Phoenix in my initial 8 hands, I'm like, Grand! Oh, yay! More Land Under Love. It is that good, though. I mean, if you're playing mostly 2-player games, you're not going to play Land Under or whatever. But do I like For Sale? I do like For Sale. That is a good, like, opening kind of, or waiting for another game to finish kind of game, because most people know it by now, and you just go bing, bing, bing. For Sale, No Thanks, all those kinds of games. It all fits on my little shelf over here. Oh, I have one over there too, but you can't see it. I have a lot of little games. It's so hard because, like, little games, they get overlooked. And I don't want them to get overlooked because there's so many good ones. But, you know, if you're thinking 5-player game, you're like, all right, well, Hawaii or Snowtails, or you look at the big boxes first. You rarely look at the little boxes. So I have to, like, actively remember to think Land Under. Unless maybe I've got to put it on display better, I guess. I love Japanese games, though. So that top stack is, like, all Japanese games. There's some cool stuff that, you know. Oh, and I'm so jealous. All the people at Tokyo Game Market. Oh, I'm like, oh, I want all those games. Oh, games. Maybe somebody will bring me back some. We'll see. I didn't really ask for anything, so that's probably my first error. I should have been like, bring me back anything. Because I just like all the cute anime type card games. Everything's so weird and different. I really like that. What else did I play? I don't even remember anymore. I've been, like, cleaning out a lot of games. I'm trying to sell some because I just have like 800 games. Like, that's just crazy to me. I'm like, I'll never get over 500, and then the next minute I have like 800. I'm like, what? Yeah, Japanese games are quirky. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Oh yeah, I've been playing Kerala too. I learned a Column of Fire. That was good. So I'm not a huge Pillars of the Earth fan, but it's nothing like it. So that was good. I haven't played the second one because I just assumed it was going to be sort of like Pillars of the Earth. World Without End. I still haven't played it, but I should. I should play it. Arguably, I should play everything because why not? I like learning things. So Call Without Fire is interesting. So it's another dice game. I like dice games. I would say yes, Column of Fire is lighter than Pillars, which for me is good. If a game can be over in 45 to 60 minutes, that's a good time frame for me. And, you know, unless it's The Colonists or Yokohama or something that might go longer, is fine. But for a new game that people are learning to play in a 60 minutes and feel like you get a good depth, I think that's really good. So with Column Fire, you have this, like, hand of dice that you're rolling, and then you're eventually putting them on cards and collecting the card to get income from that. But then you're, like, losing your dice here, so you're losing these dice as you go on, but then these are ticking down, and you'll get income, so you have to, like, manage all of that. And the board. So there's area control, and you're fighting over religion stuff. So, like, I might be Catholic, and you might be Protestant, and there's kind of, like, this fighting for region presence, if you will, and it's basically whoever gets to 50 points will trigger the end game, and then you're done. So, I like dice games. The events can be kind of random. So you are pulling cards from these decks. So I'll take that orange card over there. So the dice thing isn't an issue for me. So the luck of the dice is no problem, right? So if I roll a 4 and I allocate that 4 orange to the orange card, it comes back and it'll be on that card for 4 rounds, right? So it will tick down. I'll get income from it 4 times. There's other cards that might say get rid of a die or get rid of a card, and then you get that back into your dice pool or whatever. So there's a lot of that. That's not the problem. I think the luck of when I take that card and I reveal a new card, an event might happen. And so that event might be just, lose lots of points for whatever reason. So it's luck of the events and when they come out. That might be in your benefit. It might not be in your benefit. So that's where I think people and their luck. Yeah. So it's not about the dice rolling is what I found so far. Because you can always you have a wild die, so you can use that as anything if you really wanted to, or you can keep saving it and use it for like the other track that you're using dice for. So I think there's a lot of control over that. So that's not really the luck issue. So I think they did a good job with the dice mechanic in this game. Yeah. Oh. Somebody got Altiplano! Yay! Altiplano just came out from Renegade this week. That's exciting. I have it on the shelf over there, my Renegade shelf. If you haven't played Altiplano, it's a pretty heavy resource conversion game. I don't want to compare it to Orleans, even though everybody does. But, it can be because you're pulling things from a bag, so it's a bag builder. You're trying to convert resources to make better, more valuable resources. So it's all about making the engine really fun. So you want to try and get that. Okay, I got all these things coming in. I want to make them into better things that are worth more points. Get some contracts to line up with that. So if you're into the resource management type of thing, then I think you'll be good. Another one from Renegade is Protege Passage. It just came out. I got to play that recently. It is a 2-player only, so you might like that if you like 2 players. There's kind of a tug-of-war aspect, which is not generally my favorite, but it kind of gets overlooked by the different PP. Protege Passage. So you are placing a passage anywhere on the board as long as there isn't already a passage there, and you're collecting a token. Now this token might be scored, might not be scored. You're just putting it aside for now, and you're trying to collect different sets of the different colors that you are for the different districts that you're in control of. So wherever you put the passage, it'll be between 2 districts, and then you'll get to move those districts in your favor. So this is where the tug of war is. So you're moving these little pawns back and forth depending on what you're controlling. And then there's a mid-game scoring and end-game scoring for the districts that you are controlling and the tokens that you have for that region. So it plays in like 20, 25 minutes. So it's really fast. It's good. I'm not the biggest tug of war fan, but that's fine. I know Dan King really loved it, which is awesome. I'm the RL player, so I like all those big heavy decisions. So I love that. Oh, at the gathering I got to play with my friend Mike Young. He's a designer. He's designed like Meteor. I haven't played it. I should play that. Anyway, he is awesome. He fits in with me and Ron so good because we play games like this. Oh, he might be my top opponent just because how fast he plays. Because Ron and I play really fast, so we'll play Arl in an hour. Like that's normal. We'll play, we'll play all the big games in like an hour, right? And then so Mike, we sit down and play Odin. We sit down, set it up, play. Done in 60 minutes, cleaned up, done. Boom, next. Gaea Project, out, set up, done 90 minutes later. In 2.5 hours, we played those 2 games. I'm like, oh, It's so good. I get all these big games in for like no time. And I ended up winning Odin, which was awesome. I felt really smart. I still haven't won Gaea Project because man, Project is a beast. I really like it. I really like that game. I don't know where it falls. I don't know if it falls in my top 20, or top 50, top 100. I have no idea. I can't figure it out. I love Terra Mystica, but it makes me frustrated. So I get angry. Oh, I'm getting a question. What faction did I play last? Oh boy, see, I don't know factions. I am like the worst with faction names, but I played the money one. I always play red. Even if I'm not playing the faction that goes with red, I'm playing red. But this time I was actually playing the faction that was red that got me a lot of money income, money generator. So the bird looking people. Yes, yes, the bird looking people. And I like this one. I've played that race twice out of like the 4 games I've played just because it's red. And it's pretty straightforward. Some of the factions in that game are just like, what is going on? I still have no idea how to Gaia form. I have no idea. I'm scared to go and try a race that's all about Gaia forming because it still can't wrap my mind around that. It, it's so good though. So what they did, I really love Terra Mystica, but they took that idea and made a really cool technology track for Gaia Project, and that's what's really cool. I love the 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 tracks. So they got rid of the God track and made it a new technology track, and I think that is key. Like the theme for me is just not. I'm not a huge space person, but yeah, the tech track is just really well done and very. I'm always thinking, I'm like, how can I get up this track? But no, I need to get up that track. Oh no, I gotta get up that track. Oh my god, I need everything right now. Oh, car. But yeah, so we got to play Gaia Project, and that was done in 90 minutes. It was just like, what? It's amazing. Wish all games could be that fast and that like intense. Like, so again, Eclipse is in my top favorites. It's not like Ron. Ron loves Eclipse. That's probably his #1 game. I mean, it's probably in my top 20 though. So Eclipse is so good. But I'm not gonna just sit down and play Eclipse. I need to like get in the mindset for Eclipse and plan out like my 3 to 4 hours with the people I'm playing with. I'm not gonna be the one to be like, oh, let's play a 6-player game of Eclipse right now. That's just not me. However, I would do that for Caverna if people knew the game. Like I would totally be down with that. Just because Caverna, I get and understand Caverna. Eclipse, I'm actually actively like, oh my god, what do I need? What do I do? Oh my god. Which are great feelings, but it's just yeah, it's hard. um I'm not bad at it, but I always lose. Ron is just like done. Flip flopping back to the second edition. Caverna plays up to 7, right? Yes, Caverna plays up to 7. I wouldn't play with 7. I would try 6 if everybody knew what they were doing. I've played 5 several times, and 5 is a wonderful count. It adds some new and interesting spaces to the board, which you're like, oh, that market space could be really good, but you're giving up these points, but it could be really good. So I would definitely recommend Caverna 5 players, especially if everybody knows what they're doing. Um, Again, I'm like the biggest Uwe Rosenberg fan, so I love Lahav. I love all of them. Caverna, Arl, Nursford. No, that's the new one that came out, and a lot of people have taken a liking to it. For me, it was just it's an 8 out of 10, which is actually a pretty good rating thinking about it. But then when you put it up against all of the other, like Odin, Caverna, Arl, those are all in my top 10. So it's like I was expecting a little bit more, I guess. I still love it and I'll still play it, but I'll always suggest Caverna over Nursford. But Nursford will still stay in the collection, of course. Do I like Whirlpool Bonanza? That's funny. So I do like Whirlpool Bonanza. That was one of the first games where I'm like, oh my god, I have to like figure out how to import a game, and then I found it on Game Surplus, and it was there. I'm like, yay! So that was right when I started into the hobby, is Whirlpool Bonanza. I like dice games, so I never win Whirlpool Bonanza. If you don't know Whirlpool Bonanza, you are rolling dice and then using them to try and like activate your cards for set. Like, so if I roll an orange, orange, brown, I can move up my card because I needed that orange, orange, brown. But then I might also need an orange, orange, red, blue for the next one, so I can use those double oranges again. I can move it up again if I find the other colors. So you roll the dice, you keep some, then you roll some more, and you keep some until all the dice, you don't have a choice, and there's no more to hold. So you're trying to like use these cards to score points, and I just can't roll at all in that game. It's so funny because like I roll, and like the other people, they can take whatever I roll too. So if I roll things that move them up on their cards, well, they just boop boop boop. So I'm there helping everybody else, and I'm like, I can't even roll what I need. Of course, they don't return the favor. So, Whirlpool Bonanza, that's kind of old school too. Like, not many people know about that one. Like, if you're just to ask anybody nowadays, but a recent game that I just got was Flim Rouge. Now, I tried this back when it first came out, and it was a sad play. It was really sad, and I've been kind of turned off from it, but since I got it, and an expansion that holds more people, I guess. It's like 6 people? And I think it's even going to be able to hold 12 people in a minute with another expansion. I don't know. Anyway, I just got that, so I'll try it again. I want to love it. So I got to play with all the twists and turns and little like passageways, and I think it could be good. I know it will be really good to photograph, so I'm excited to do that. Yeah, so that's one I just got. So I have to maybe get that to the table this week, along with my 6 or 7 player Scythe game. It's gonna be awesome. Heaven and Hell's been a huge hit. It almost gets played at every game day now. Like, everybody's always playing that. I like it. I did end up buying it. There's a nice tension in the game, I guess, because you're trying to like manage your board, but you are also trying to get ahead of everybody and get all the good things first. Like, you want to get everything first. Like, So there's definitely a tension in that game, and if you jump too far ahead, you skip a whole bunch of stuff, and then there's only 6 rounds if you're playing, with everybody, and yeah. That game, it's a good game, and I would recommend it if you're a Euro gamer, so that's good. Also getting played a lot is Marco Polo, which is awesome. I love Marco Polo. The voyages of Marco Polo. So, at the gathering, the Hansum Gluck guy, he was just around, like, showing off his prototypes of stuff that looked really cool that I didn't get to try. I did try one, which I'll talk about in a sec. But he's like, yeah, I got a promo for Marco Polo. I'm like, so all con, I was like, so how about that promo? Do you still have it? Do you want to like give it to me? And so he's like, I'm gonna give it to the next person I see playing Marco Polo. I'm like, okay. So this promo is called Secret Passages, and I saw him sitting one night against the wall, and I'm like, okay, guys, now's the time. So I pulled out the game and we set it up and we played it. And then he's like, all right. So I ended up getting this promo that, because we're obsessive, right? We want that promo. And Secret Passage is really cool. I haven't tried it yet, and I really want to try it. But it allows you to get cards that might say go from one location to another location when you normally wouldn't be able to cross the borderline like that. Just jump down or up or whatever between the rows. Usually that's the hard part of the game, is figuring out how to get all the places. So this might allow you to get from one location to the next location right below it. Ooh, it sounds so good. So I can't wait to try it. That's high on my list. Another thing I got to try from them, was Majesty expansion. I loved Majesty. I played it at Gen Con last year and I just was like, oh my god, this game is amazing. The art is amazing. Just figure out what cards to draft and take to your supply, your town is just awesome. So the new expansion, I can't really talk about mechanics all that much, but it adds a whole new like town section with some cards. Ooh, and Rainbow Meeples. I can't talk about it, but oh, I'm so excited. So that will be Essen 2018 later this year. Oh, I can't wait. I really like it. I hope that it gets nominated for like a Spiel des Jahres, Kenner Spiel or something like that. I think it should be. I would like that. I really like Majesty. I think it's doing a lot of things well. The meeples are not translucent. So he had them, and you can buy them in like the little store. I had a picture of this in the blog, but they are really cool. They're so you can like kind of they're like smoky. You can kind of like see through them. Oh, they're so cool. I guess they were too expensive to put for the box for inside the expansion box, but you can buy them separately, and I totally am going to at Essen because it's gonna be awesome. They are so cool. So I did like this pyramid, this like rainbow pyramid of all of like the meeples, and they were so cool. Oh, I really love those. He actually gave me 3 of them. I wonder where they are. Oh, they're right here. They're right here. He gave me 3, almost the full rainbow. I don't know if it can focus. I got these, and I got my red one. Yay! They look like little gummy bears. Like I want to eat these. They are so cool. I know. I don't think you could. Okay. Well, that's in focus. How about that? Yeah, so they are super cool. So they're gonna be selling these at Essen. That was really cool. I also got to play the new Carcassonne game, which I can't really talk about either. But well, I think I could talk about it. So it's called Safari, and there's lots of new ways to score things, which is cool. Yeah. So I like Carcassonne, so that will automatically be awesome. Yep. So I think that's all I'm going to do today. I'm hearing Ron. He just walked in, so I want to thank you for joining me for Steph's Hodgepodge of Gaming, episode 3. All the games, all the time. Bye. If I can figure out how to turn off. Oh, yeah, you gotta play the cat game.